Yo, what's up? I'm Bubbles, and today I wanted to talk about. I don't know if it's my favorite band ever. I don't know. But one of my top bands ever, okay? Ever. I love them. And that's Sleep Token. Which could be kind of a hot take, but I love them. So let's talk about it. Okay, so I guess we should go back. When did I start listening to them? I remember I started listening to them, I think right after Take Me Back to Eden came out, the album. So I'm kind of late. I'd heard songs from This Place Will Become Your Tomb. I had heard, songs from that before, but I never started listening to them until Take Me Back to Eden, the album, came out. And oh my god. You know what's crazy is, to me, Sleep Token was heavy when I first started listening to them. And I do think they're a pretty heavy band. But, it's not that heavy, right? I don't want to piss off all the heavy people, who are super deep into the heavy stuff, I understand. I've heard some crazy shit, okay? I know Sleep Token isn't that heavy. But to me at that time, when I started listening to them, that was the heaviest shit I listened to. The heaviest stuff I listened to prior to fucking Sleep Token was I don't know, dad rock or Polyphia or fucking, unprocessed. I wasn't very. Now my horizons have really expanded in the past couple of years, but I used to really only listen to chill shit. Boy With You is one of my top artists of all time, and it was especially that back then, right? So that's kind of that's my background on it. So then once I started listening to Sleep Token, I was like, oh my god, my world expanded, and they introduced me to heavier stuff. Where it's now knowing I know all their songs by heart, by the way, but now knowing all their songs and then exploring and hearing heavier stuff, I know they're not that heavy, but I just love them. I love the whole vision of it, and a masked band, and even though I know who it is, right? I know the real man behind Vessel. I still want to keep it as Vessel. I think it's so cool. I think, Vessel and 2 and then 3 and 4. Oh, I just think it's super cool. I love the whole idea of it all, And what a dream it would be to go see them live, but who knows if I'll ever get to do that. They're a very polarizing band, and I'm on the side. I love them, but I can totally understand people's criticisms of Sleep Token, right? Because some people say it sounds like AI. To me, I don't understand that fully, but I also kind of do. Do you wish that you loved me? People say that one sounds like AI. And I can kind of get behind that. But that song's also a banger, It's just they're not shy to be experimental with their stuff, you don't even know what to call them. They're kind of metalcore. I don't even know. You have so much range in their discography. That's why I love them. I think you can find, unless you're my older sister, where her main issue with the band seems to be his voice. Unless you have an issue with how he sings, you can find any song that would probably match something you like or enjoy, as a listener. And I think that's super cool. I think his range is insane. He's got an amazing voice to me, though I do think he overdoes it sometimes. But it's still you can't say he's not talented or say that they haven't done, things that are unprecedented, like they've broken records recently, they've kind of brought metal back. It's not really, I don't really get behind that, but I see a lot of like articles and stuff claiming that they've brought it back into the spotlight, which like I do think maybe they've brought elements of it back into like the popular scene, whatever, but I don't know. I love Sleep Token. I love it. Definitely top 3 musicians of all time. I think. Ooh, shoot. What is like my top? I'd say like top 5. We've got Sleep Token, Wisp, Boy with Uke. Fuck. Who else do I really like? I really like Good Kid and Polyphia. Oh, Suburban. Love Suburban. So, I mean, that was like 6, I think. Or 7. Dude, I can't escape it. Okay, but, like, you kind of get my vibe of music. I don't know, I'll kind of listen to anything as long as it's not, like, country or Christian music. And even then, I can kind of get behind some songs from those genres if they're good. But a lot of times they just are kind of mid to me, is my personal, feeling and opinion with it. But yes, okay. So I don't know, it's been a huge band for me, especially since the way, I mean, I started writing music and writing lyrics and whatever before I listened to Sleep Token. And I love his lyricism and I love the like just the emotional rawness that he brings to it, right? And like the storytelling and whatever. I think the band having the lore is super cool. I love that. It just gives it an extra layer you can get into, and enjoy and appreciate about it. I think it's just cool. But, like, even before I started listening to them, I was writing lyrics that were very emotionally raw, Like, it's almost like, I mean, obviously, like, a lot of lyrics are kind of like poetry, but it was like compared to what I was listening to back, like, when I started writing lyrics, I was listening to a lot of, like, fucking, like, rap, I think, and, like, Linkin Park. I grew up listening to Linkin Park through my dad. So it's not like those things aren't raw and emotional, right? But it was just like my I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying here, but like it's just Vessel's lyricism I enjoy so much. And it's huge inspiration for me and my lyrics, I absolutely I love him, And he's got good melodies. They always get caught, stuck in my head, Any one of his songs I can listen to and it's like a banger, I can fuck with it. I can even if it's not like something I want to listen to at that moment, I can still appreciate it musically. And I can't do that with there's a lot of artists where like I'll hear something I'm just like, I don't know. And maybe I'm just biased, right? But I love Sleep Token. But yeah, I would say one of my top songs. Oh, I really love Missing Limbs. I think that is a top song for me forever. You know, like, I love Missing Limbs. I really like Nazareth and Jericho. I really like Thread the Needle. Mine is really catchy. Let's get to some newer stuff. Oh, well, The Way That You Were. Oh my god, I love that song. Even though when I first heard it, right? And this goes back to how, like, like, experimental and, like, just, he can make anything work. I genuinely think. Or, obviously, if you, like, I guess I don't know if this is because I produce music or if, maybe I'm totally wrong here, but, like, you can tell that a lot of Sleep Token's music kind of seems, it's like piano driven. Like, it's written from piano, right? Piano in mind with melodies or, whatever. Like, it seems like he's very much like he'll just sit down with, like, himself and a piano or something probably, and then he'll just write shit to that, and then I would say he probably goes from piano then to, expanding into the other instrumental things. But it feels very piano coded. I don't know what the right term I'm looking for, but you know what I'm saying. Like, but, like, like, The Way That You Were is literally just him singing and, like, church organ, right? But it hits so good, and his lyricism is awesome, and his symbolism is awesome, and metaphors, and, everything. I love it. I could go on and on, right? But that's what these videos are about, so that's what I'm doing. But yeah. So those songs, from newer albums, like, from Take Me Back to Eden, oh shit, what do I really like? I mean, Rain, Chokehold, Euclid is so good. Are You Really Okay? I'm pretty sure that is from, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Are You Really Okay is written from the perspective of his mom, I think, maybe, or something like that. And, like, I love that. And, he talks about, his struggles with, like, I mean, obviously, right, I think a lot of the lore is, like, struggles between him and Sleep, which is, like, the goddess, deity, I don't know, whatever it is, right? It's, like, the struggles between him and her, right? But I also think that a lot of that stuff is, it's probably songs that he has about, that, like, he pulls from, like, real life experiences, like self-harm or, bad relationships or manipulation or toxicity or, whatever. But I do think, obviously a lot of it has the lore, which adds that extra layer, but I do think it's also kind of just pulling from real life stuff that he injects into it, from my perspective of how I would imagine he does it. That's, yeah. But, yeah. For Even in Arcadia, I mean, Look to Windward. Oh, what a good song. It has so many highs and lows in it, and, like, it's such an experience. What an opener, Provider is so fun to sing. I love the chorus. Which I guess I don't know if it is the chorus, but to me it sounds like the chorus. Though the first part of the song also kind of sounds like a chorus. I don't know. But I love, Provider. Infinite Baths is super good. Past Self I really liked. I think a lot of people didn't like Past Self, but I love that it, like, samples is it Fairy Fountain from Zelda? I don't know. It's one of the Zelda songs. I fucking love Zelda. Oh my god. I'm low-key a poser. I don't know this. I'm pretty sure it's Fairy Fountain, but I could be wrong. But, I love all of them. Caramel is so good. Damocles is so good. Damocles, I don't know how you say that. They're all so good. All his songs are so good. And we haven't even talked about 2 yet. my goat, dude, his drumming is so fucking good. He has such a wide range of shit. Oh my god. He is. Maybe I'm just biased and I'm glazing, but for me, he's definitely like probably top drummer of all time for me. Like, I want to drum like him. Like, holy shit. I don't know, he's just so cool. And it's also, I don't, I'm not saying this in a bad way, but from the interview he did with Drumeo, the way he talks and like articulates and says things, oh my god, he has to be on the spectrum. But that makes me love him even more because he's like, oh my god, that's so me. Like, me and you twin. Like, but I love the way he sees drumming and goes about drumming. And he's a very, like, he meshes, like, jazzy shit with, like, fucking, he meshes, like, jazz with gospel with, like, metal drumming with, like, it's so cool. Like, it's such an interesting style of drums. And it's always, like, it's got little tiny things everywhere all the time, you know? But it doesn't subtract, like, it only adds. He's very good at not overplaying, at least to me. I think I can see the angle that maybe to some people, he overplays. Or is, like, showing off, I don't know. I think he is so good. Oh my god, and he's always in the pocket. I mean, I guess that's what you do as a professional drummer like that, but, oh, he's just, like, perfect. Like, I love it. I love the drumming. And I wish I could drum like that. But I don't even know where to start, you know? It's like, you hear one of his drum parts, and unless you're, like, already a good drummer, you're like, what the fuck? Like, where do you even start learning that? I don't know. But, yeah. I love Vessel, you know? Oh, I love Sleep Token. I wish I could see him live. And that's another thing. Like, live, they're all for doing new and different things during live performances. And, growing up with music, right, I used to hate live, like, recordings of songs that were, like, posted on, like, Spotify or whatever. Like, I would never listen to live stuff. And now my opinion on that's definitely changed, right? I think it's cool to have live be different, you know, then it's a live performance, you know, it's gonna be different. It's a live thing, you know, whatever. I was just kind of close-minded and, like, picky when I was younger. I was like, I want it to be the exact same so I can sing it the exact same, so I can hear the exact same parts, you know? But yeah, their live shows are so cool too because they have more layers, right? Like, the fucking, oh my god, the Espera, who, like, harmonize with him as he's singing when he already has such a crazy voice, but, like, with them it's such a good layering. Oh, I love it. But then also, like, they'll add new screams, or he'll bark. People love that. Now I will get into this after I finish this. I will get into that, reminds me, I will get into something in a second. But then, like, the Provider, like, sax solo, oh, dude, that shit was awesome, you know? Or, like, in Rain, oh my god, I love it. Which, now that I know it, I swear I hear it in the actual song sometimes. But the scream that IV does during Rain, like, the live performance, like, as it's dropping, he just screams rain down on me, and he just has, like, crisp awesomeness, right? And that's also, IV does screams in the live performances that are in the songs, you know? Or Vessel does new screams or whatever, right? Or they'll have sax soloists come on. I don't know if there's been anything else. But yeah, okay. Now, to the next topic, which the Provider sax solo reminded me of, or the barking when he barks. Sleep Token is very kind of like book talk, almost like thirst trappy, like, you know, And I can understand why that kind of irks people. It kind of irks me sometimes. It's kind of like I don't want to say this the same, but it's kind of like My Hero with like I hear it's a good show, but the fandom's horrible. Everyone knows that. Like everyone hates the fandom. And I don't want to say the Sleep Token fandom's horrible, but like he is very sexualized, but I think he does it himself, right? I don't know for sure. Obviously, we don't. I don't think we know. But like, he wears like he's got his abs out, you know, and he wears very specific pants sometimes, or you can, you might be able to see a little, you know what I'm saying. And a lot of his songs are very like kind of, I guess not a lot, but there's a good amount where they're very like, ooh, you know, he's like, good girl, bad. In the live performance, he switches that up, and everyone loves that, good girl, bad, bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? Or like, provider, like fucking provider. I want to be your provider, and he's like, only good girl on this side of the, you know what I'm like? It's very, some of it's kind of sexually charged or like kind of spicy, book talky, where then it's, a lot of, but I think some people think that that's the only reason why. I think a lot of women really identify with Sleep Token. I could be wrong, but it seems like there's a lot of women who love Sleep Token, right? And it could be, I'm sure there are some women who they totally, they just fuck with the spicy kind of shit, right? They fuck with the attractive vessel, doing his thing, singing his heart out, being all, hot or whatever, right? But I also do think it's very like emotionally raw, where a lot of, I don't know, it seems like at least lately, I could be yapping out of my ass right now, but like the like deep and emotional lyrics that he does seem to identify with a lot of women right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching there. But to me, it seems like a lot of the fan base is women. Or at least what I see online is a lot of women. Which, like, go women. I love women. We don't need to talk about what I am right now. We don't know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, like, and don't get me wrong. Vessel's attractive. Okay? Bro's hitting that shit. I love it. But yeah, I do see why some people think, it's a little too spicy or like sexual or like, like book talky, like biker book talk, whatever, thirst trappy. I can see that angle of people not liking Sleep Token. When me, I mean, I know all their songs by heart. I've listened to them since, I guess it hasn't been that long, only like 2 to 3 years probably. But like, I think it's more than that, obviously, but like surface level of what just people see, I can see why, they might think that. Or they think it's not real metal, because I don't think it is real metal. I mean, another topic, what even is real metal? Whatever. But they are very experimental. That is made clear from even the beginning, right? Like, the first songs are very, like, beautiful and, ambient kind of, and like, but then it transitions into heavier drops, and heavier instrumental breakdowns. Like, he just made this beautifully, I don't know, meshed thing that really connects with me. I fuck with it a lot because, I don't know, I just love hearing good music. And all their instrumentals are super catchy to me, you know, and I love just having time to hear, boo, you know, instrumental rock it out, and, you know, he's just very talented, I think. And I wish we knew more about just his, like, at least I do. I wish I knew more about his process and how he goes about things and how he thinks and all this kind of stuff, right? Just because I'm a musician myself, right? And I love hearing about that type of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's super cool being like the anonymous band. I respect that shit fully. It kind of sucks that, like, I know who he is, just like it was an accident that I found out. But also, like, you know, he is a real person. And you can't say that's not true, but I do think it sucks that, you know, he tried to be anonymous and he just wasn't allowed to be, which sucks, you know. And I'll never, you know, I can very much separate Vessel from his real life, you know, actual person. But yeah, I don't know. I love Sleep Token, okay? I love Sleep Token. Absolutely love him. Definitely top. Probably, I don't know if I can put him, I don't know if I can put Sleep Token over Boy With Uke. I might. I don't know. Sleep Token and Boy With Uke are definitely top 2. And Sleep Token's slowly overtaking Boy With Uke. But Boy With Uke, you know, helped me through my fucking worst years ever. Was my main artist since middle school. So, you know. Which, I will say, I was with Boy With Uke from the start. Don't get it twisted, okay? I was there when the first album dropped. Okay? And I know all his songs by heart, okay? Don't get it twisted. I ain't no toxic fanboy. Toxic is low-key annoying as hell. Now it hits because it's fallen off. It hits again. But that shit was so annoying for a while. That's not the topic of this video. I love Sleep Token. I wish I could do some covers of Sleep Token, but I don't think my voice is good enough, and it sucks. Which, Sleep Token has improved my voice so much. Just me trying to emulate how he sings, you know? I think the way he sings doesn't fully fit my voice, but it's helped me just learn how to control it more, you know? Like, he does so many little rungs and stuff. Like, he's kind of like he kind of overdoes it sometimes. But I can respect it, you know? He's just so talented, right? But it is kind of like that cliche, like, you know, the drama kids or choir kids who are like, you know, always doing the runs and shit, being like annoying about it, you know? Whatever that like cliche is. He can kind of fall into that sometimes. But I love him for it, you know? He's so talented. The fact that he can even do it, I mean, most people who are going to make fun of him for doing that can't do what he can do. So, whatever, you know? They have hit top charts, you know? I'm pretty sure it was the top album in the world when it released. Within a couple days. I could be wrong on that. You know, they literally just recently broke the record for the most people at a like metal festival ever, or in the venue or whatever that record. They broke that. They had the most people ever like at that venue or at a rock festival, metal festival, whatever it was. They broke the record of people all there at once. And it was because of Sleep Token. Like, they headlined that, you know? Or at least majority because of Sleep Token. Like, they are doing things that can't be ignored, you know? You can't ignore the talent and everything behind them, whether you know, fuck with the music or not. You can't ignore that talent, you know? And just like how respected, you know, they've done great things. It's crazy, you know? Yeah. My throat's low-key getting sore from yapping so much. It is 2 a.m. I work in like 10 hours. And I still probably want to edit this video tonight. But maybe I won't. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow after work to edit this and then release it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. I just want to yap about Sleep Token, you know? My favorite album is definitely probably Tomb. I have a hoodie. That has like the whale from Tomb on it and like all the songs and stuff on it. Fire ass hoodie. And fire ass album. I love Tomb. Like Missing Limbs, Mine, Fall For Me. Fall For Me's Tomb, right? Did I just... Wait, I have to check. Okay, yeah. Fall For Me, Hypnosis, Telomere, I don't know how you say that. All the songs on Tomb are just so good. And I also love the new album. Which, you know what's weird is low-key, like, Take Me Back to Eden is, like, I think was their biggest album. I mean, I think Arcadia now, obviously, is the biggest. But I think Take Me Back to Eden is my least listened to album now from them. Like, I'll listen to Sundowning and Tomb and Arcadia way more now. But all their music's so good. Literally so peak. I love it. I love Sleep Token. You should listen to Sleep Token. I'm sure there's a song for you that you can vibe with, you can fuck with. I'm sure. You know, they have so much. And I love it. I love their variety. But yeah, my throat's sore. I should probably stop yapping. Thanks for watching. I love you. Stay safe. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.